If the early 90s rave scene was all glow sticks and euphoria, then Orbital Snivilisation felt like it was a moment the lights came on at 5 a.m. and everyone realized that the world outside the warehouse was a lot messier than the dance floor. After 2 albums of mind-melting laser-guided techno, the Hartnell brothers decided to rewire their sound, turning their 3rd album into something more cerebral, political, and downright human. This is Orbital, not just making people dance, but making them think. The title itself is a cheeky mash of Snivel and civilization, hints at its thematic core, a critique of modern society's dysfunctions. Where their early works chased transcendence, Snivelization feels like it's grappling with anxieties about surveillance, consumerism, and environmental decay, all filtered through sprawling electronic composition. With tracks like Are We Here stretch out into nearly 15 minutes of shape-shifting techno, weaving in breakbeats, haunting vocal samples, and a sense of simmering paranoia. It's less a club banger and more like a full-blown thesis statement. Meanwhile, Crash and Carry and Kind Trinkweiser show Orbital at their most playful, bending dance floor logic into crooked, cartoonish structures. It's as if they were daring listeners to question not just what electronic music should sound like, but what it should say. What's remarkable is how Snivelization still bangs even when it's at its most high concept. The beats may be stranger, the melodies more fragmented, but there's always an emotional pulse beneath the circuitry. Philosophy by Numbers feels like a darkly comic take on digital life, while the closer Attached delivers something unexpectedly tender, the shimmering, melancholy track that anticipates the more melodic side of electronic music that would bloom later in the decade. In hindsight, Snivelization was a turning point. It proved that electronic music didn't have to be disposable hedonism. Orbital showed that rave could have depth, irony, and moral conscience without losing its edge. Not every experiment here is tidy, but that's part of its charm. The Hartnells weren't afraid to get messy in service of something bigger. Listening now, Snivelization feels eerily prescient. The questions it asks about technology, politics, and culture haven't gone away. They've only gotten louder. It's a record that doesn't just soundtrack a night out, but lingers in your head the morning after when the hangover meets the headline. Snivelization isn't the most accessible Orbital record, but it's probably one of their most important, an album that dragged rave culture into the daylight and dared to make it socially conscious. It's messy, brilliant, and still buzzing with uncomfortable relevance. So if you haven't listened to this album, check it out and let me know what you think.